Hey everyone, it's the Snowman. Get ready. We're gonna go through one of my favorite bands of the 2000s, Shinedown. It's got a lot of vinyl to get through, and then we'll rank them. So let's do it. Hey everyone, it's the Snowman with TooLoudTooOldMusic.com. Welcome back to the collection. This week, we're gonna go and talk about a band that's fairly new for me, meaning that it's something in the 2000s. Normally, we've talked about bands, my favorite bands growing up, but this is one I've found out in the last 20 years. So I thought it'd be fun to go through their vinyl. I have everything, I think, as far as studio albums, live albums, and stuff. So I think this is everything. Let me know in the comments if I'm missing anything. But we're going to talk Shinedown. Shinedown got their origins back in around 2000. Brent Smith was in a band called, I think it's Dreve. They were signed to Atlantic Records. Atlantic didn't care for the band or what they had done, but they liked Brent. So they canceled the band, but they kept Brent on and they worked with him on his songwriting and things like that. So they got him to start bringing in band members and he would bring them in, I guess, one by one. There was Barry Kirch on drums, Brad Stewart on bass, and Jason Todd on guitar, and of course, Brent Smith on the vocals. So they worked for a couple years, and then in 2003, they finally released their debut album on May 27th, 20 or 2003. So this one is Leave a Whisper. Um, really great. It's got a gatefold. Now, of course, none of these albums I think were put out on vinyl back in the day, but they have released them since on vinyl, and I've been grabbing them. So we got an insert that's got the poster of the band, and then an insert with lyrics and everything like that. And then what was really cool about them, they're just on this really beautiful vinyl. Um, just a beautiful blue translucent. It's a 2 LP set, uh, done very, very well. I have to say, they did a really good job with the packaging and everything. Uh, I'm not going to go too much into it. We're going to rank everything at the end. So we're just going to walk through the vinyl at the moment. Um, and talk a little bit about them. So after the debut album, it did really well, sold well. They started working on the next album, Us and Them. It came out on October 4th, 2005. And it was really this album, I think, that I discovered the band, but I discovered in a weird way. It was actually due to American Idol. In 2006, Chris Daughtry sang I Dare You on one of the episodes. And I saw that episode and thought he did a fabulous job. And I was like, who is that band? They said it was Shinedown. I looked it up and kind of started listening to them at that point. Um, and then the album again was Us and Them. Really nice. Another gatefold. They're really good on the gatefolds. Um, gives you another, they like this little insert process. And then inside, we get more stuff, uh, which is kind of nice. The color of the album this time is this purple. And kind of, I don't know if you call that splatter or wavy, whatever you want to say, but really pretty translucent purple. Uh, and there are 2 LPs of that. We got them both. Um, But it was the next album, I think, was the one I first bought. I didn't buy Us and Them. I just listened to them. And I started listening to them on the internet radio and trying to figure out what they were about. But then it was the album, The Sound of Madness, that came out on June 24th, 2008. And before that album came out, they were working on it And he had actually worked in 2007 with Rick Beato uh, for months and months and ended up writing like 60 songs for this album. Of course, they did streamline that down. So if you know Rick Beato from his YouTube channel and all his producing work and stuff, he's fantastic. So pretty good guy to be working with. And during this time, they did have some band trouble. A couple of the guys, I don't know what the real reason was. There were rumors it was substance abuse and that kind of thing, but it was affecting their work, and they were both let go. And that would have been Brad Stewart and Jason Todd were both let go. So now they needed a new bass player and a new guitar player. And the guitar player was easy. They had a touring guitarist by the name of Zach Myers, and so they brought him in. Then they had to search for a bass player, and they ended up with Eric Bass, or I'm assuming, and he was on bass. So kind of fitting with his name. Makes a lot of sense. They also brought in Nick Perry as well to work on to play guitar as well. But Nick didn't last very long. He went on, did his own solo stuff. Uh, but Brent was fine. Brent Smith, he said they worked better as a foursome. So he liked the fact that he left. Not liked, but he was accepting of the fact that he left. Um, but the album, Sound of Madness, was probably their biggest album. Might even still be their biggest album to date, with tons of singles, massive radio play. They made the top 40 on several songs because it was a very radio accessible song. And again, they did the flyers, these little things. I guess we can open this up this way. You get a nice band shot, and then inside credits, lyrics, and that type of thing. So again, they love to do that kind of stuff in there, and I'm happy with that. That it's makes it enjoyable to pull that out and read. This one though is only a single LP. Like the cover, they kept with the white theme on it. Beautiful, beautiful, just clean looking vinyl. Um, And then after that, sometime in between that and their next album, they released a live album. Really cool live album. It was only available on CD and maybe DVD, and that was it. There were two shows, one a rock show, electric, and then another was an acoustic show. A couple years ago, maybe this past year or two, they finally released it on vinyl. So it's somewhere in the stratosphere. It was released on May 3rd, 2011. I still have it. It's not sealed, but it's still in the wrapper. It is a gatefold, but I can't open it um, because it's still in the wrapper. But again, the vinyl on it is beautiful. And this is a 4 LP set. And they came in this beautiful, beautiful red, white splatter, translucent vinyl. And the shows are just both fantastic. They play all the hits, anything you would want them to play. And it's just really cool that is acoustic as well as that. So there's the four vinyl on that one. Just fantastic live album. If you get a chance, listen to it. The CDs were really expensive because I missed out on it back in the day. And to try and get one now, it's really hard and they're pricey. So when the vinyl came out, it was probably just as pricey, but I went with the vinyl because I had vinyl on all their other stuff. I'm now going back and trying to do the CDs and stuff. Their next big album came out on March 27th, uh, 2012, and it is called Amaryllis. Nice. I like that cover. This is also, again, gatefold, but I still have it in the sleeve as well. So I don't really have the inside, but they have the insert. And again, another band picture. And then on the inside, all the writing and song lyrics and that kind of stuff. I do like that because, in CDs you get the booklet and usually it's just on the jacket, but they put it where you have that nice little booklet kind of thing in there. And then this is on a green translucent vinyl. Really, really double vinyl. So two of those, worth checking out. I don't know why I put the vinyl over the jacket over there. The jacket needs to go up here for later. Then we jump from 2012, we jump to 2015 with the album Threat to Survive. Great cover with the snake and the egg. Simple little back. And then there. Now, this album was released on vinyl, so it's just a black vinyl. Comes in the sleeve. All those others were reissues because I think they were first time issues on vinyl. But Threat to Survive came out on vinyl, so I was able to pick it up right away with that one. Then a couple years after that, 3 years after that, we get to May 4th, 2018 with Attention, Attention. Bright yellow gatefold, great band shot. Can we get it to blur? Yeah, nice little band shot. Um, this one is a concept album, and we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail. And it is just black, so not as pretty as the others. And it's got individual stuff on here. It's got all the songs on this one. And it is a 2 LP set. Um, and then after that one, we're getting to the final studio album, which came out on July 1st, 2022. It got delayed quite a bit during COVID. And during COVID, there was a lot of backlog in getting vinyls printed. So they delayed it even more because the band wanted this album to come out in all formats at one time. So CD, cassette, MP3, or digital all at the same time. So they kept getting pushed back until they could get it done. And the album is Planet Zero. Great illustration inside. I do like that. Then we have, again, it's this 2 LP set. It's on black vinyl. That's, you know, that's usually the cheaper way to go. Even though I do like the colored vinyl, but do I need to pay $5, $10 more for colored if they have a black one? Nah, not necessarily. Not necessarily. And that's all the studio albums. But that's not the last Brent Smith album I have. I have a wonderful, wonderful set. In 2014, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, uh, Brent Smith and Zach Myers got together and they did these acoustic shows, just the two of them. And they did cover songs. So I think they released 2 EPs of covers and some new songs. So what they did is they pieced them together into one vinyl, Smith and Myers, um, just upside down, and then both of them in there. It is a fantastic, fantastic piece. This is the volume 2 one, all the lyrics, and it is just black vinyl, so no fancy color. And then this is the other one. That one is fantastic. It is all acoustic. The covers are unbelievable. The new songs are amazing as well. I was hoping I have a song listing somewhere around here. Um, you know, they do what is it? Better Now, Panic, Never Tear Us Apart by NXS, um, Unchained Melody, which I was really surprised. Just a lot of really, really good cover songs, and then some fantastic, fantastic new songs, all done acoustically. So to me, that's actually one of my favorite albums of the Shinedown collection. So I really like that one. But now it's time. We're going to rank these albums. We're going to rank them. You can't do from worst to first because I'll be honest, there is not a bad album in the bunch. There's just some I like more than others. That's really how it goes. Uh, and if I had to pick a least favorite, it would be Threat to Survive. Threat to Survival. Even though it's got one of the coolest covers, it's not my favorite album. It had some heavy songs. but I just don't think all the songs were as strong as what the material had come before that. To me, there was a little more filler in there. The back half of the album really started to lose me, with the exception of the song Misfits. I think Misfits is one of their really coolest songs. Essential tracks would be Cut the Cord, State of My Head, How Do You Love, Asking for It, and I even love Thick as Thieves. It's not that the other songs are bad, it's just they didn't really do it for me, I guess. So out of all of them, great album, some great songs that I just listed, but it is my least favorite of all the albums. And then coming in next, I know people might disagree on this one, but to me, it's their new album, Planet Zero. It's sort of a concept album, um, which is not a bad thing. It's just they had this electronic vocal in there that did some of the narration between the songs, female robot kind of thing, and it's really bad. I don't like that, the way they did that. For me, it takes away from the whole. If there is a common theme in everything, it took away from it. It's just a bad approach of doing it. The songs are fantastic, and the funny thing is, this was like my number three album of 2022. So bear in mind that I really liked this album when it came out. I don't think I've listened to it much at all since it's come out. I liked it at first. It just kind of has waned in my over the time. But Planet Zero is a fantastic song. Daylight, The Dead Don't Die is one of my favorites on there. But probably my favorite song and one of their biggest songs is A Symptom of Being Human. Fantastic track. One of the best they've ever done. It's just the whole package, though. The album didn't do much for me. So then we're going to go to, let's see, which one are we going to pick? Let's go with this one. We're going to go the 2005 release of Us and Them. It's a heavy album. Still has a lot of post grunge influence. Solid release. And it will keep you thoroughly entertained, no doubt. I don't dislike this one at all. I still think they're still discovering who they are with this one. And I think once they figure out that direction, I think from then on it really starts to click. But it is chock full of great songs. It has "I Dare You," which the Chris Daughtry sang, which I mentioned, "Save Me," "Lady So Divine," "Atmosphere," um, "Heroes," and they actually do a Leonard Skinner cover of "Simple Man," which is fantastic. So it's a really good album. It is number five, which they've only had seven, but they're all great at this point. I just have to place them somewhere. So at number four, we're gonna pick, and I think I'll probably get crap on this one, is Amaryllis is my number four. This was from 2012. Um, I've seen this ranked much higher on other people. Just for me, it's at number four because I do like the other three better. Hard, heavy album, um, but it comes off Sound of Madness, and Sound of Madness is way up here. So it was just a slight tick down from that one for me. Uh, the second side, a little bit weaker than the front. A lot of albums are that way, so it's really not a negative for it. Um, there are some really strong songs on here. Bully, a great song about bullying. I'll Follow You, Enemies, and I love Adrenaline, and of course the title track Amaryllis is fantastic. It is just outside my top three, not by much though. So that was my number four, and then we'll go with my number three. Oops, I really do like Attention, Attention. It is a concept type album. The songs take you on a journey of someone who's starting in a very dark and ominous place in their life. And it's their journey trying to get through and battling with the mind and all their issues to hopefully come out on the other side. The themes on this are dark, very some disturbing things, like especially songs like Monster and those type of things. But Devil, Black Soul, and Monster, just beasts of a song, just really good. There are some electronic elements in the album, which I actually don't think take away from it. I think are really good and they add a lot to it. You can't go wrong with songs like the title track, Attention, Attention. Kill Your Conscience is phenomenal. Pyro, Evolve, and Get Up. They're all just great songs. I don't really think there's a bad song on this album. which tells you how strong the other two albums have to be. And that it is number three. So my number two is going to be the debut album, and that is Leave a Whisper from 2002. It is, post grunge. It is full of angst. It's full of aggression. It's heavy. There is a rawness to this album that I really love. That I think they lost a little bit on the second. And then, of course, Sound of Madness is extremely polished. But I really do like the rawness of the sound. It's they're taking that grunge era and they've modernized it for the 21st century. And I think they've done a fantastic job with this one. The songs here that are must-haves, I would say, are No More Lies, Better Version, Lacerated, Lost in the Crowd, and of course the final track, which is really killer, is 45, which might be still one of their best songs. It's a very solid debut album. Heck, it is a very strong debut album. I don't know if it's Van Halen strong, but it is incredibly strong. It's probably one of my top 20 maybe debut albums. It's that good. So highly recommend Leave a Whisper. And of course, I know sometimes the most popular isn't the best, but in this case, I really think The Sound of Madness is their best album. It's definitely the most radio friendly, and I'm a pop rock, hard rock, and 80s rock kind. I like the melodies, I like melodicness, and this album has it in spades. Um, it was a huge album, and again, like I said, it is more polished, more radio friendly. Sometimes that can be a detriment, but in this case, I think it really added a different flavor to the band. There was a maturity in the songwriting. It had just improved immensely for me. The heavy songs on here are really captivating, but so are the ballads, man. The ballads are some of the best they've ever done. Second Chances, Call Me, and The Crow and the Butterfly. Oh, that is just a great song. Now, they have a lot of ballads, but man, did this album rock. You had Devour, The Sound of Madness, Cry for Help, Cyanide, Sweet Tooth, Suicide. They were all catchy enough, but still had a lot of power to them. And again, start to finish, fantastic album. So I think if you're going to start with them, start with Sound of Madness and then work your way up. So that's my ranking. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're a fan of Shinedown, leave some comments. Tell me what your ranking would be, what some of your favorite songs are. Please hit subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Please hit like, leave a comment, like I said. And then that's it. So we'll see you next time. Have a good day. We'll see you next on The Collection.